Call the meeting to order. Call the meeting to order. We'll just do the flag salute with just us. So everybody got rights. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We sit here by then, or?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Welcome to our guests. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? No, perfect. Any public comment? I didn't think so.
Keep it quiet, public.
Consent agenda. Everybody had a chance to look at it, I hope.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business. I'm not sure what you guys want to talk about on it. Resolution 14 and 15, transfer of funds from general fund to the capital projects funds and the transfer of funds from general fund to transportation. Do we treat those separately, Brad, or do we do one or both?
You can, or you can do them as a block, so you
Okay.
approve both,
Okay,
and whatever you prefer.
so what does the
My
group
opinion,
wish?
my opinion is that we do the 500,000 to the capital projects and the 100,000 to transportation.
Is there any discussion, or what is everybody else's thought? And please come up with opinions. So
I
with
know
that,
we've approved it already and we're saying going 500, right? Because that's all we're needing,
We haven't approved it. We're just
Well,
talking about it now.
the budget.
Yeah, well, it was budgeted at $1 million,
Yeah.
but
That's
I
what I'm
think-
saying. We're saying go at half
Yeah.
that.
and that, so Brad, just one more time, I'm sorry. If we do the 500 and the 100, it puts us, we anticipate a negative for last year of what?
about $400,000.
400,000. I'm glad Chuck was paying attention.
Any discussion on that? Because we don't have a motion on the table, so.
If there's no discussion, I will make the motion that we transfer $500,000 to the capital projects fund and $100,000 to the transportation fund.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Fall sports schedule. Everybody get a chance to look at that, or is anything else to bring up on it? No issues? Have a motion for that?
I make a motion to approve the 25-26 fall sports schedule.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Mr. Dr. Darling.
All right, good evening, board. It's been a little bit since I've met with you all. I'm passing down a packet. We're gonna look at just the first page. So we did an admin retreat last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Tuesday, we had all the district leadership there. So operations, maintenance, transportation, nutrition, teaching, learning, everything. And I walked them through this assessment to help them identify the working geniuses. So there are 6 working geniuses. They are wonder, invention, discernment, galvanizing, enablement, and tenacity. And every job that's done in the world has some component of this genius there. Every person doing the job has 2 geniuses. So there's 2 of these things that you really love to do in your work. And you could, if you're doing just a job that focus on just those 2 geniuses, you'd work the rest of your life happy to be, couldn't care if you get paid or not. Every person has 2 of them that are a strength. Basically, like you can do these things. They don't necessarily, light your fire, but you're good at them. And every person has 2 geniuses that are a frustration, where if you had to do a job that only focused on these 2 geniuses, you would burn out, you'd hate your life, and you would demand more pay. So if you kind of look at it on the left-hand side, the wonder and ideation, those are kind of the pie in the sky thinkers. So wonder is a person who's, you give them a blank canvas, like, oh, sweet, I'm an entrepreneur, I can make up something and this is gonna be fantastic. Invention is a person that then takes that and say, okay, here's what we can do with that idea. And then you move down the scale for like the 20,000 foot view. The discernment is a person who here's the idea. It's like, let's sit and think about, let me poke some holes in that. That's gonna work, that's not gonna work. They have a really good gut feeling about a project, an idea, and what it's gonna work or not. They might say that's not gonna work, and you say, well, what do you suggest? Like, I don't know. Because they don't have wonder, they might not have wonder as one of their geniuses. They're just good at telling you what is or what isn't gonna work. And then galvanizing is people who are good at taking an idea, say, okay, let's get some momentum behind it. Let's start to rally the troops, get some excitement. Let's get some stuff. Let's get the ball rolling on this one. Enablement and tenacity, that's actually where the boots hit the ground and you start getting stuff done. Enablement is getting other people motivated to start working. And then tenacity is someone who's like, I just want to grind. I love my checklist. I love getting monotonous stuff done. I'm a worker bee, let me get stuff done. So this assessment is basically a productivity assessment. Like, where do you really live in the productivity? Where do you shine? And so on the back of this, the first one you'll see is we did this with everybody in the district. And on this page, you'll see where it says team map operations leaders. So I can create different teams based on the different departments, and you can see on the side where they have geniuses, and on the side where there are frustrations. So if you immediately look at the operations leadership, nobody cares about new ideas. Nobody cares about making new ideas. Brad cares about figuring out whether things are good or going to work or not going to work. Miguel was really good about getting people motivated, but they are all a bunch of grinders. The operations team are a group, and it's kind of fitting for that team to show we have the right people in the right positions on that team because they want to get stuff done. And you look at Miguel, he's our director. So as a director, his job is going to be getting people going, getting people excited about work. If that was something that was one of his frustrations, that's not going to be a good fit for him because he's constantly trying to get people to do stuff, and that's not really something he enjoys. He might have to fake it because it's part of his job, but it might not really truly be a lot of joy. On the back of that page, it kind of gives you an overview of each person, their genius, their competency, and their frustration. And so if you put this group in a room and they're trying to solve a problem, there's not very many people who are going to say, well, I wonder what this, or how about we try this? They're all just going to say, okay, here's the problem, let's attack it. You know, let's get stuff going. I'm tired of talking about it. I want to go fix something. On the next page at the top, it says team map. This is the GHS leadership team. So the high school team is a little bit different than the operations team. You have Betty and Derek who love coming up with ideas, who love saying, yeah, what if, or how about this, or what if that. But then once they throw those ideas out, there's nobody in the invention side that's going to try and figure out how to put some teeth to that idea. And Derek, we did this with Derek, and Derek's like, that makes a lot of sense. He goes, because I was so excited about doing this class, the house program at the high school where we have everybody join a house. He's got all these great ideas, and then he's like, nothing's happening. Because he realized that his strength is getting the ideas, but what his strength isn't is getting stuff going and getting people motivated. So for him, if he has a project or an idea he wants to work on, he needs to make sure he has people there who have those geniuses naturally, and they can help him really get so every box is filled. And so what he did find is he found somebody great to replace Kyle, because Kyle is definitely an enablement tenacity. Kyle was kind of a Pac-Man kind of guy where you give him tasks to chew him up. Austin's going to be the same thing. Austin's going to grind through stuff. Yvette is also like that, where she wants to just do stuff, get stuff done. And so he's got a lot of people who want to get ideas going, but he also has some gaps in getting from the ideation phase down to the implementation phase. And so it's a good awareness for him. And so we created, those are the only two examples I shared with you, but we created a map for Jose's team, for a cabinet. For cabinet, we have Stephanie, who's really good about wondering about stuff. But for me, that's one of my frustrations. I don't want to sit and talk about new ideas and what entrepreneurial stuff can we do. I want to say, okay, that's a good idea. Let me help you poke holes in it, and let's help figure out what that's going to work. And then Jose's strengths, he's a tenacity enablement kind of thing. Jose's like, just get your crap done. And it was really kind of eye-opening for him. He's like, yeah, I don't understand why people just don't do their jobs. And so if I expect Jose to come up with the new ideas, and that's not one of his geniuses, I need to make that expectation. Like, Jose, I know this isn't one of your things that you do naturally, But you and I need to make sure we have somebody in here who helps us do this, because it's not one of our strengths, and so. It was a good training for us. It's also given us a lot of understanding with each other. Instead of thinking, man, that person is slacking, I don't know, that's not one of their strengths. Who's missing from this group right now that we're gonna get some work done? Because we need to make sure we fill these gaps. So, it's also when we come to a meeting and we're like, you know what, Stephanie, we're done talking about ideas. We're down here in the implementation phase, so keep your ideas to yourself. Like, okay, fine. And people aren't offended now because they know that's how they are. And some people always say, ooh, that's my husband. Ooh, that's my wife. Now I know why she does that.
So you have to bring that with you to every meeting you have.
I have a map.
Emphasize. Wait a minute, you're here, you're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So it was a good training for us. And like Amy and Lupe, they flex it out of all kinds of different teams. And so it's good for them to be able to see when they jump into a team, what are the strengths of that team? Where are they going to come in? And some people, like if you're a W, a D, or an E, scissor here on the top, you're responsive. So you're responding to something need. If you're an I or a G or a T, you're disrupting. So if your strengths are all on this disruptive side, you know that you're going to tick people off when you come into a meeting because you're always pushing the status quo. So if I know that Jose is going to come in and always be pushing the status quo, I have a better understanding. Like he's not trying to tick me off. That's just how he operates. That's just how his mind works. And so I think Jose and I are both in equal balance. He's an E and a T, right? So he's a disruptor and responsive. I'm a D and a G. So I'm both disruptor and responsive. So we have a nice balance to that. But we have to be aware of people who want to talk about things and wonder about things. Like, okay, fine, get that crap out of the way so we can get stuff done. So, Jose or Brad, anything to add to that?
I think it was a great exercise. And the nice thing is, we're all geniuses.
And what you don't see is, it doesn't show that this is a weakness. Some people are like, well, I'm really good at doing that stuff. It is something you might be really good at it, but it doesn't bring you joy. And we know that if people aren't feeling joy or experiencing that joy from their job, that's when we burn out. Burnout doesn't happen because you're doing too much work. Burnout happens when you're doing the wrong work or too much of the wrong work. And so as long as we're aware that this isn't one of my areas that I enjoy, but as long as I can keep going into things that really bring me a lot of joy in my career, we're gonna have a lot more longevity in our staff. So yeah, it was good for us.
Yeah, the thing I'll add is I like the team map, because like our teaching and learning department, it sparked some really good conversations. And then also looking at the building maps, like, oh, okay, that principal is this way, this principal is that way. So it helps us better support our principals as well.
Yeah. And we've even talked about how if we're hiring principals, assistant principals for a position or director of somebody, we get down to a couple of finalists, we can have them take this assessment. And we can see, okay, what does this team
would
need
complement?
and how do they complement this team? And we can, do some more scientific work around. If we have two that are neck and neck, this might be a contributing factor to hiring one over the other. And they're gonna be a better fit for the gaps in that team. So anyway, more nerdy stuff from us. And I talked about it a little bit earlier when some of you were coming
Maybe the
in, but
board should do a working team.
Yeah.
as well.
that'd be kind of telling, huh?
One of our training sessions.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty simple. We had, like I shared, we had a significant multi-agency Yakima County-wide drill today at the high school. From everything I've heard, it went really well. I gotta be a participant from like I didn't have a specific job I was doing. I just got to be a spectator, which was kind of cool because I got to see these two in action. Jose did a fantastic job taking the lead today with Lupe. We had Lupe, we had Jose, we had police chief, fire chief, YSO, Yakima County Emergency, all in our office. There was probably 400 phones, 50 radios. We had all the cameras up. We had drone footage going on live the whole time. The high school parking lot was packed with emergency vehicles. We had about 400 people running part of taking the drill, and so it was a really good event for us.
They didn't have any calls to the school.
Yeah, not one single call to the district.
Can you believe that? Not one call.
That included an escorted bus parade all the way down to Nazarene Church and back, because that's our unification
So-
spot.
But you guys had announced this. I want to say it was like
Yeah.
a month
And,
ago,
but-
right? They really keep promoting.
It'll show up on the anonymous chatter.
Yeah.
Start bitching about it.
And we only had a couple small hiccups, and the small hiccups are usually the ones that you don't anticipate, and so we had a good learning from it. And tons of people were there. YVC sent people, Distribution Center sent people, Bronster Memorial had people there. A couple other big organizations had people there because they're going to experience these type of emergencies too, so they were trying to learn from it. ESD, yeah, it was good. It was a good event.
some school districts out of Tri-City.
Yep, Tri-Cities,
West
yeah.
Richland, yeah.
Yeah.
Al Carrier, I'm not sure, he used to work for us, but now he's in West Richland as a transportation director.
Yeah.
Right? He is the director, yeah, so
Yeah.
he was here.
Yeah. It was a good event, so we had nothing but compliments from the people. They said that was one of the best they'd ever seen, especially something that scale, because they hadn't done anything like that in the county yet.
Community members said it too.
Yeah.
They said, there's a couple community members that stopped me and said, this was really great. So community members that attended.
Yeah, we had community members volunteered us, they were students.
Students,
Some of them
yeah.
had wheelchairs, some of them had crutches, so we had to accommodate those type of needs and stuff, so it was good.
Yeah, so
We only lost one class,
two classes.
two classes.
But actually, yeah.
That's not bad.
You couldn't figure out.
We got most of
buses
them.
were ready to go, and then we hear, hold on, we might have two classes that weren't evacuated yet. And Lupe about lost his mind.
So the scenario was active shooter at the high school, that's the scenario. Post, threat being neutralized. And so what do we do now as we transport students from the high school to the reunification center? And then the next exercise is gonna be reunification center.
Yeah,
So we just did the middle part, if you will, the
Yeah.
transportation.
And so
That
we
was-
didn't take anybody off the bus because we knew it was gonna be about 100 degrees and we want to get them on and off as quickly as possible. So they went over there, did a big loop, came back, and we fed them all cheese zombies and vegetables and had a good debrief. And so Chris was doing double duty as transportation director and making sure everybody had food. So he was hopping today.
Yeah.
So Chris was cutting weight all day.
As a workout for him.
He's gonna wait all day.
It's all over that.
Tomorrow or Thursday, we have the Center for Teaching by Literacy coming up from Oxnard, California.
Yeah.
Or Chicago.
They're out of Chicago.
Out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a
so,
great, fantastic training if you have a chance to stop by. Super engaging from dawn to dusk. It's go, go, go. And the teachers love it. It's a really good training.
Mhm.
And it was so much cheap. It was cheaper for us to bring them to serve us in-house than for us to send everybody there too. And it worked with it.
And what's the time of that?
8:30,
8:30,
3:30?
3:30,
Yeah.
3:30.
We'll
It'll be
That's where-
upstairs.
Where's that?
The Learning Center.
No, actually, we'll be upstairs in the deals
Okay.
meeting room where we were
Upstairs
yesterday.
training room.
Okay,
Yeah, so Jose's has that, he's been working about a year ahead of time to get them on the docket for us,
Mhm.
because they're pretty sought after. Next week, we're gonna do a coffee with the soup, Monday and Tuesday, Monday morning at 8:30, Tuesday afternoon at 4:30. When already confirmed that with Wendy, so she's good to go. Then on the 20th, we have all staff back in the district, 8 a.m. at the high school, if you wanna show up there.
it's Wednesday, right?
Yep. 21st, like it or not, we're gonna unleash the house. There will be kids and buses everywhere.
What time on Wednesday?
Wednesday, we start at 8. Yeah, so you'll start probably about 8:02.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then the 26th of a board meeting and September 1st, no school. October 7th, we're gonna have our first linkage community forum type of event that we talked about with so I'll be sending out a survey to kind of get some ideas from you about what are topics you want to discuss at that event when we do our roundtable activity. And that's my board report.
and we'll have a calendar on that. The complete calendar for all our stuff, so everybody can see that.
Yeah, and Prosser, Mapton, and Sunnyside are all excited to figure out how we can do a collaborative
Good.
joint meeting with them, all three superintendents that were in. What do you need from us?
I'm not exactly sure what this section is, but members of the board updates, and then we have board assessment, then we have from the board, so it's kind of a double deal, but.
We keep forgetting to take that off.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to take off?
We'll take off the
Number-
that one.
We'll just scratch.
Number
that.
9?
Yeah, number 9.
Number 9.
We'll take that off.
Okay, board assessment. Amanda did it. She's almost done. Had great information from Dr. Darling. Are we having to sign our stuff?
I think he wants to be able to.
Oh, Mr. Brad,
Yeah.
this is for,
Well, yeah, we're just passing it down now, but need to get them processed right away. We'll still send them out electronically, but we missed deadlines. I don't want to miss deadlines.
My signature looks much better electronically.
yeah, I'm like a doctor when I'm not when I'm signing normal.
Same. I was like, if it looks like there's 3 words in there, it's got my 3 names.
It's kind of,
3 letters.
Pretty much.
Mine's with a big. I'm so tired of saying it.
so while you guys are doing that, we'll go over the assessment real quick. We're all present. Of course, Amanda, she can't give us any bad ones. Come on, you can't think of one thing that was at least a 4. Anyway, we have all 5s again because we're all so good at this. Overall report,
Shoot him down.
just sign, just keep signing, that's all you do. Oh, I've signed in other people's spots and got in trouble before. I do have a few things from the board. Does anybody else have anything from the board while I'm signing?
I got July 22nd through the 24th. I helped Gina Wami with the extra mile students down at the golf course for a little golf clinic.
Nice.
And we worked with them on the range, just kind of getting them into it, to see if they like it, and got them to be able to hit the ball all the way from irons to driver, and did a little putting competition. And then Thursday, we took them all out, and it was me, Gina Walmy, and Dave Grill. Took them out, and we were the captains of the team, and we took 4 kids apiece and played a little scramble for 2 holes. And Grove's team came up on top with a 2-hole score of 1 under,
Oh.
Wow.
which was very
Played
impressive.
basketball and took the ball every time.
Yeah, we actually limited to where we could only take 1 shot from the captain
Good.
a hole, so
Nice.
it was pretty good. They all enjoyed it.
Anybody else?
What I wanted to talk about, I think you're gonna talk about, so I'll let.
Well, I have a few things. The National Night Out went good for whoever you were able to make it. There was quite a few people down there. Seemed to be a nice little turnout. Went around and met with some people, and all the schools were representative. I think the school district had some great numbers down there, answering questions, doing different stuff. One little funny little story about it, I gotta say about Rob, was he went over to the which booth did you go to?
One of the church booths.
The church booths, and they asked him something, and he said something about his religion, and they started preaching to him, trying to change him.
Wrong I was.
Trying to change him, and Rob came over and said, I finally just said, hey, I gotta go.
So let's have this conversation later with a crowd around.
It was pretty funny. A lot of the kids at the police department, they had a big armored vehicle thing there. They were doing some stuff, but the kids were very active with the policemen that were there. There's quite a few of them there. Thought that was really cool. Of course, they like the fire department, but I want them to have trust in those people, which I'm really glad. And they, had things going on with that. So that was really pretty cool. I went to a new hire orientation yesterday for a little bit. I sat upstairs and introduced myself and kind of, welcomed them. There's only 6. We have new people. I did sit in on a little bit of the training for a little bit and got to hear Brad talk about a few things, and then we got into paychecks, and I said, why am I still here? So then I said, I need to leave. So then I left, but that was pretty cool. Surveys. I've noticed in the last couple times we've had some surveys, we're not getting all the surveys. Please make sure you look to see if you guys are getting those, or when you submit them, maybe even check to see if they're going through. I don't know what the issue is, but we're having some issues of getting all of them. So
Mine seems to send the Survey Monkey to the trash instead of to my primary deal for some reason. It sends it straight to spam.
well, if you have time, any time that you have available, either get a hold of Sabrina or talk to them and see if you can set up a time just to check it out and see if maybe there's something there or
Yeah.
whatever
Well,
it is.
now you let us know, Sabrina can contact Jesse tomorrow and have him look into that.
Okay.
So that's why I looked at.
And on the last one, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting one in July because I had looked for the packet and then I was off a week. So anyways, I was not expecting one on the last one, but I did get it in. It just didn't make it into the packet.
So anyway, do we need to have a special meeting on the budget or not? If we do, we need to schedule it.
I don't think I would need a meeting, but I don't know. Others think.
Okay, the only other thing I have on here is Me personally, I would like to talk about WASDA and possibly not going and doing something down here and inviting the Prosser, Mabton, Sunnyside to get involved with us. I think they're probably all in the same boat we're in. We can do some new hiring orientations there. What were you talking about, Chuck? There's some stuff.
So
Some
that was
classes.
also my thought. We have to take the open government training. So maybe we schedule to do this on the Friday that we would have been at WASDA anyway. I think we don't go and save the money and lead by example here, that maybe there's things that we don't have to go be a part of. And I think that open government training is online anyway. Maybe look at seeing if
It
we
is.
could do that. And
And
if we
also
were gonna-
have somebody come
Yeah,
possibly do something, especially, it would be nice. I know we're scheduled to do a new hire training, but maybe we can somewhat put that into it also.
yeah, we're all planning, if we were all planning on going to WASDA, we weren't gonna be working that Friday anyway. So that would be a good time to do this, I think.
Now, for us, do we still need to do the orientation,
The onboarding.
the onboarding
Yeah.
deal?
You will need.
So how would we do that? Would we still need to go?
Well, we still have the onboardings with us still scheduled, and remember, we already had days for that.
Okay,
That's not part of this.
It's
We
what
would
it
do a
was.
little more collaboration
Yeah.
with the towns around us, maybe see if we could bring somebody in to do kind of a couple things that they're doing at WASDA, maybe. We pick a couple things to see what we can do. I don't know.
I think it's the boot camp that he's talking about,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm
The
saying. We
board
need
member
a-
boot camp,
the
he still
boot
needs
camp.
to do, and so does Amanda. And
Yeah,
they
we
need
were
to
all
be
gonna be involved in it, because we would help the new members. If we have a new member, it kind of helps with them to have us all there.
Well,
But in answer to your question, you do have to still do it.
At
Was
the
the,
conference that's led by them.
right,
Yes,
That's what she's talking.
but they do offer an online, so yes,
we-
you still have to do it, but we'll have to figure out.
And if we wanted to bring somebody in, we would probably need to do it a different weekend, because they're all gonna be at WASDA. If we want to bring somebody from WASDA to have doing training. So
yeah, but if we could do, if they do the boot camp version online, I mean, there's no reason we couldn't all do it, because it's only a couple, 3 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't done it, but I don't think it's too long.
We could build it into that day. And yeah, if our neighboring school districts wanted to do the same thing, I mean, we could host that and give them the opportunity. I realize it's not a great big bunch of money. What was in our budget, $13,000 for us to go there? But I think it's the example that we can set.
Something I think we think about, because one of the reasons we went to WASDA is to get innovative ideas or ideas of what we can bring back. So if we do something with our districts around here, is there something that we would like to replicate or learn more about? I guess that's would be my question, because it's great if we're all here, but what is it that we're trying to receive, from our professional development together? So that would be the thing that I would be wondering. And to the point of like what Dr. Darling mentioned is if it's not WASDA, then who provides that PD? Because again, they probably will be busy that week, or do we need to change it?
We can always look at the catalog of what's there. And if there's something that something that strikes our fancy, we can reach out to the people. Yeah, it's not gonna happen during WASDA, but
Yeah.
at some point it could.
Yeah, I think that's something maybe to start with, because we may even be Zooming with another district, right, or something, or maybe they come down, or we pay them a consultant fee to come down. I don't know, but anyway, things to think about.
Are any of those WASDA things that they put on, any of those on Zoom? For that week, for those 3 days?
I don't know.
Typically they're in person. I haven't seen any Zoom sessions where you're
Anyway.
at WASDA watching Zoom.
I do
Sometimes they'll
remember
a
the-
Keynote speaker on, but it's usually very often either.
Not during the WASDA conference itself, but I do remember during, or when I had to do the DEI training, that was a Zoom session. And so,
And this is just me bringing this up. There's nothing set that we're not going to WASDA. That was just my opinion as to not go to WASDA. If the group decides to go to WASDA, that's the group's decision. That's just something I brought up.
I think it's just
So-
more conversation maybe. To see
Well,
what it
the
is
problem
we
is
want.
if we're gonna do it, we're gonna have to decide. It's not that far away that she's gonna have to make some commitment to go to, we're gonna have to do something. So,
Because I thought we were already all booked, right? We had already sent emails and everything that you had asked for us.
Yeah, but I haven't booked anything.
Okay.
yet. Now with this, I won't need to know.
When's the registration deadline? Do we know?
Off the top of my head, I don't.
Let me see if I can look it up. Cause that'll be a driving force on whether, when we decide.
Didn't say something in August or something.
That was the only things I had. And you need to quit talking so much. This is getting out of control. I don't like people sitting next to me that talk so much. You guys missed it last month. We had to. You
See,
say.
the-
You know,
The process.
do we-
She's analytical,
You
behave.
need to make a motion, make a motion.
Oh, that was hard.
Yeah, and I'd lean over, you can make
Go
this
ahead.
motion.
Well, Heather was on the
Oh, yeah.
screen.
Oh.
She wasn't even here.
I think we did overlap a couple times though, didn't we?
A little bit. I
Yeah.
think you might have been a little delayed through the
I think it
speaker.
was, cause I would hear and then it would like kind of, I'd hear a response
Yeah.
later. I was like, oh.
Anything
don't
on
see
the
anything.
enrollment cash flow or budget status?
So you can go through September 27th. You get charged like a $20 fee. You go after 26.
Okay.
So
well-
you have the wants to raise
Oh.
rates.
So think about it, and at the next meeting, we can figure out what we want to do, and maybe we'll look to see if there's something out there. We could possibly get during that time. I don't know. You never know.
$20 savings.
Anything else?
Yeah, that's up.
We had to stretch it out to at least 30 minutes. So, okay, meeting adjourned. All right.